Welcome back. As we get closer to the election, people should be wary of potential misinformation circulating around online. But there are ways for people to spot this kind of misinformation and help keep it from spreading. So joining us today to give us some ways to be more critical of what we're seeing online, Dr. Joe Lukito with the Moody College of Communication at the University of Texas. First, thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
So we're thinking about this election right around the corner, and there is a lot. Twitter, Facebook, online blogs that are trying to point people in the wrong direction. How do we know what to look out for when it comes to misinformation?
That's a great question, and especially as we get closer to the election, we're starting to see much more misinformation and disinformation, especially about voting, as well as information about how votes are counted and how we know our elections are safe and secure. And so I think the most important source of information is your county election official.
Okay.
There's a lot of misinformation online, especially on social media platforms, but the people who will have the most correct, accurate, and fast information will be the county officials who are actually participating and making sure that our elections are safe.
And they all have websites where things are laid out with the accurate information.
They all have websites. A lot of them are also on these social media platforms. So many county election officials are on Twitter, on Facebook, and it's worth checking out those pages.
So we know that there's some posts, you'll see something, you'll question whether it's accurate or not. Who are the people or organizations that are behind putting out this information? And then why are they doing it?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of distrust in the election process, especially from 2016 and 2020. And so we see a lot of different actors participating in election misinformation, from Russian actors and foreign trolls to even citizens within our own country or people who are invested in manipulating or shaping the way the election turns out.
Okay, and just why are people doing this? Are they trying to influence the U.S. election in the way that they want it to go?
Yeah, sometimes they're not necessarily shaping the election to vote for one candidate or another, but they might be increasing distrust in the election system so that in the future you might not want to vote or you might not think that your vote counts.
Got it. Okay, the other sort of thing that's been factored into this, specifically with this election that we maybe haven't seen in the past, is artificial intelligence and posts that are being generated, not even by a person.
Yeah.
How do you know if a computer is essentially trying to convince you one way or the other?
Yeah, there are a couple different techniques that you can tell, especially when it comes to image-based misinformation using AI. We see a lot of AI specifically to make fake images or fake videos. And in a lot of those videos, you tend to see lines kind of blur between the background as well as fingers or between pages and fingers. And so look really closely at these videos or these images, because a lot of times if you look at the details, they look a little messy.
Okay. And then last question for you, and this one can be sensitive for people who maybe have friends or family who they're worried about, who think are being influenced by misinformation. How do you talk to a loved one and say, I'm worried about you and what you're consuming?
That's such an important question. And I think for a lot of people in this election who are voting, they really care that their vote matters. And so when you talk to your loved ones or friends or family, first you should ask them if they are participating in the election and if they are voting. And if you find that they're falling into that rabbit hole or starting to believe misinformation, ask them where they get their sources of information. It's important to empathize with individuals, particularly friends and family, but also try to show them that the information they're consuming might be incorrect.
Okay. Dr. Lukito, thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you so much.
All right, and if you have some questions about the voting process, what's on your ballot, things to look out for, we have a full in-depth voter guide, when and where you can cast your ballots locally. That's all online. We'll have more news and weather when we come back.